Oh yeah, coffee time. Look at that thing go. Coffee's ready. Squirtle the turtle, no. So, you know, reviewing the vlog, TUVlog 24, and enjoying a cup of coffee. I'm feeling very sophisticated right now. I missed my coffee. I haven't had coffee in a long time, and I forgot how much I like coffee. So I have the sampler pack, the K-Cup sampler pack, and it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So the coffee maker takes probably, they exaggerated it on Amazon. They said it took 3 minutes to warm up. I put cold water in it, and it warmed up in less than a minute, so not a big deal. And once it gets brewing, it brews quick. This cup was done in 15, 20 seconds. Who's messaging me? More spam. Spam it up. Caramely. So, editing the vlog, having coffee and combos, not having a good diet night, but I just want to get this done, so I'm like well past dinner time at this point. It's almost 10 o'clock. I had like an hour-long phone call. It's not going to do me any favors on Ting, since I talked for a long time. There's a chance Ting may actually be more expensive than AT&T by the time I'm done with this month, so we will see what happens. But anywho, just wanted to share the first cup of joe and the new coffee machine. It's such a small thing in life, a little single-serve coffee machine, but it makes me so happy. So my mission to shorten the vlog didn't work out once again, and I really thought it was going to this time. TUCat's been my helper during editing. Yeah, so that vlog ended up being a lot longer than I anticipated. I started editing the vlog, and I really thought it was going to be maybe an hour and 10, because I just for some reason felt like I didn't have very much this time. I felt like I didn't take nearly as much footage as I usually do, but then I kind of rallied in like the last 3 or 4 days. Pretty much once I started getting warmed up to the Sony RX100, then content kind of started flowing back in again. And then the lawn mowing experience of, well, today, technically yesterday, because it's 2:15 a.m., which I think is the time I got home from the store the other day. Do I have a scratch on my pep? No, okay, I got upset. I thought I scratched my watch. But anyway, now I have to export the vlog, and that's gonna take about an hour. Then I have to upload it, and I'd really like to make sure it gets uploaded before I go to bed, because the whole thing with Bright House that I explained in the last vlog, yeah, this thing's gonna take forever to process with YouTube. It was quite an adventuresome day today, full of experiences, including being cold, waking up early, mowing the grass, almost getting hailed on, going out in the hail to take a picture of the hail to send to the local meteorologist, who, by the way, did tweet me back. She actually retweeted my tweet. So I'm sure all of her followers were like, who is Tech Uploaded? But hey, if it brings even one person in, that counts, right? So it's been over 12 hours since I've really had anything to eat other than snacking on some combos and a couple of cups of coffee, which really doesn't constitute a dinner in any way whatsoever. I'm making dinner now. So I'm going to have, the train was loud. I'm going to have leftovers from the All-American dinner from debate night at my parents' house. I'm going to heat that up and maybe have some tater tots with it. This diet thing is not going well. Devin's coming over on Friday, so a couple of days from now, technically tomorrow, because today's now Thursday. But she's coming over, and we're apparently going to make a healthy meal. So I don't know what that's going to be. I said no seafood because I don't want my house to smell. And she said no spicy. So I'm leaving it up to her to come up with what it's going to be. She's got that whole like health thing going, so we'll see what she comes up with. I haven't done cooking on camera since Cuisine Made Quick, which was my old cooking show that I used to do on Blip TV or whatever. I used to have guests on there, and it was always fun. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. A nice little change of pace. I don't know that I'll post it on this channel. I think I'm gonna let her have it. I'm gonna use my gear to record it and let her put it on her channel, just so maybe it can be something that brings in some traffic for her. Trying to give back, you know. Give back a little bit of what I've learned, and I'm far from an expert, but what I've learned over the years and use some of the equipment that I've managed to, obtain. So that's the plans for the rest of the week. Nothing too crazy on the schedule other than that. Looking forward to the weekend. I've got, I think, most of what I needed to get done out of the way at this point, so it should be just hopefully a nice coast into the weekend, and TUCat and I can just chill. For now, I gotta wait for the oven to preheat, and I will add, it is so cold in here. I was in the office for about 6 hours doing the edit for the TUVlog, and that computer, especially when you're in Premiere, it warms the room up because when you're scrubbing and going through video, it's kind of processor intensive, so all the heat from the radiator goes back out into the room and heats it up. So I had the window cracked to cool it off in there a little bit, and it was a nice temperature. Unfortunately, that air made its way into this area, and now it's pretty cold. I think it's like 70 degrees in here and dropping. It's only 55 outside. And for all my international people, I'm sorry. I don't know how to convert that to Celsius, but that's Fahrenheit for you. Anyway, I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna watch an episode of Blacklist, and I just remembered that I never did do laundry from the other day, and I'm almost out of undies, so that's the unacceptable point. So I have to do laundry. Making myself a turkey wrap. Got some tortillas that are past their expiration date, so figured I'd use them up. Put a little sriracha on there. Well, probably a lot of sriracha. So totally miscalculated the lawn mowing situation. In the last vlog, at the end of the vlog, I was mowing my grass and then almost got caught in a hailstorm, and then went back out and it was really wet, and I was going back and forth between fighting with the rain and getting the grass cut. And then today it was supposed to rain, so I did it yesterday. Today it's been beautiful. Everybody's out mowing their grass. Beautiful day. Supposed to rain again tomorrow, so it'll probably be nice too. Picked the wrong day, but at least it was cool yesterday. It's cool today as well, but it was really cool yesterday, so I was able to get the grass cut. Didn't really have to worry about sweating because I got completely rained out, but still. Anyway, TUVlog 24 should go up today in about an hour. I'm gonna finish my late lunch and then probably get that published. I uploaded it last night, so it's uploaded and processed and all ready to go, so that's good. That's always a process with the vlogs. They're so freaking long, they take a long time to upload. Ran to the UPS store today, dropped off a return that I had, and then I think that was about it as far as things go. Responded to a bunch of comments on the S340 video. That video has been really popular, so glad for that. It's weird, the videos on the channel that seem to be particularly popular versus ones that aren't. I never know what's gonna stick, what's gonna be the thing. I think the S340 had timing going for it, but for the most part, everybody seems pretty pumped about it. I had some questions about various things, but a lot of people seem to like the case. Some people are bummed they got an H440. Hey, if you got an H440, that's still a great case, and it does have things that the S340 doesn't. It's got better water cooling options. It's got more space in general. It has more expandability, I think, as far as 3.5-inch drives are concerned. It has the foam on the back panel for sound dampening. So it definitely has its benefits over the S340. So I think if you got an H440, you shouldn't be looking at that thinking, oh, I got the wrong thing. I had one person comment that the packaging, putting packaging within packaging is wasteful. I disagree with that. I think it's wasteful when you underpack something and then it gets damaged, and then you have to return it, and you have to wait for the return to come back to you. So now you're shipping a product twice, actually 3 times, to the person, back to the company, to the person, versus just the one time. And then if the product is damaged, you may just have to discard it. The whole thing, depending on what it is. So that's wasteful as well. So I think the money and resources are better spent in packaging things well so that they arrive in one piece. Apple's done a really good job about this. I kind of, give Apple a hard time. Some of their practices, I'm not a huge fan of as far as how locked down their stuff is, and some of their upgrade paths I kind of scratch my head about. But packaging, they've got figured out. They keep things to a minimum, yet they pack it really well. And I think there's definitely something to be said for that. That's kind of a science, and they started that trend. So a lot of companies now are kind of, trying to mimic what Apple does, but it seems like they always get it just so right when it comes to packaging. So hopefully more people can do that. But I wish more case manufacturers would use the soft foam instead of the hard styrofoam, because the soft foam, more than double boxing something, makes so much difference. So much difference in the case arriving in one piece. And it makes it easier to ship the case again if you're a system builder or something like that. That's why I always enjoy seeing soft foam instead of hard foam. You might be able to hear a squeaky lawnmower in the background. That's my neighbor that lives behind me cutting his grass because it's grass cutting day. He's been out there for over 2 hours. Very small lawn too, really. I mean, for a big riding lawnmower, in 2 hours you could cut a lot of grass. So I'm not really sure what's happening over there, but whatever. I think at one point he actually ran out of gas and refueled. So he can come over here and cut mine anytime he wants if he's into cutting grass. So I'm gonna finish making my sandwich here and enjoy this beautiful day. Got a nice breeze going through the house, fresh air. My allergies are actually in pretty good shape today for once, so yeah. TUCat's perched on his new favorite place. He's taken over this pillow. And now he knows I'm talking about him. Are you helping me clean? Are you helping me clean? We're having a visitor tomorrow. We're having a visitor. Are you gonna be nice to her, or are you gonna have that cranky face while she's here? You're looking a little grouchy. Dude, you are just looking like a grouchy old man. Devin's gonna come over tomorrow and I'm not gonna have any tricks to show her. We'll need to teach you a trick overnight. Just doing some cleaning and finishing up some laundry I have in the dryer. Trying to get the house presentable for TUCat and I's guest tomorrow. He's swiping at me. Going to be cooking fajitas and probably doing work on a website. So that's the game plan, I do believe. So I'm gonna do some cleaning and try to get this place presentable as much as I can. There is a lot of stuff just kind of everywhere. And I don't wanna take the light kits out of the room because I'm gonna need them for doing the video tomorrow. So I kinda have to leave this stuff in here, but yeah, it's kind of a mess. And this light kit fell over, now the umbrella is kinda jacked up. I tried to bend it back, but it's not really wanting to play nice. But hey, it still works. Almost forgot to take the trash out. Got that done and just finished exporting a video, kind of a short little clip, TUCat, going over the Canon G7X Mark II and the Sony RX100 IV, why I ended up going with the Sony over the Canon. If you watch the vlogs, which if you're watching this, you probably do, unless this is your first vlog, and then welcome, thank you. And a lot of you are typically returns, though, I believe. Return viewers. TUCat, dedicated viewers. But anyway, I recorded the video just because it was something that I was looking for when I was trying to figure out what to get, and it seemed like it was more difficult than it should be to make a decision. And there was really no clear-cut answer for what was best. And it was really driving me crazy trying to figure it out. So when I finally was able to use both of them, then I knew right away which one was going to be the right one for me, and that was the Sony. I went a little overboard with the coffee. I didn't realize I put that much water in there. It's gonna be hard to get out without spilling. But yeah, so I wanted to put that video out there. I know it's gonna spark debate, and it's probably gonna get a bunch of dislikes because all the Canon fanboys are gonna be in there getting upset. And you know what? Hey, I use a Canon 70D for almost all the video on the channel. TUCat, you can't be up here with the camera. Really, dude? Don't put your ass on the camera. This is real-time vlog drama right now. What the heck was I saying? Oh yeah, I use a Canon 70D for the majority of the major, main videos on the channel. Other than the vlogs, it's pretty much always the 70D. So I love Canon. I have no problem with Canon, but I tried using a Canon camera before when I very first started doing the vlogs. It didn't work out. It looked great, but it couldn't hold focus. It went back. Went with the Sony then. Sony, thanks to Mr. TUCat here, you know, that's why I'm staying close to the camera so I can grab it in case he goes to knock it again. TUCat ended the legacy of that camera, and then the hunt began again. And I thought, okay, maybe Canon got it together this time. Not so much. Still had the same exact problems as the one that I tried to use a while ago. So yeah, same problems, same autofocus, floating and not being able to hold and all that stuff, so then I ended up going with the Sony. The downside of the Sony is you do have to be a little patient with it. There's no touchscreen, so you can't really just go boop and then focus on something. Not that it really mattered on the Canon, because it would focus and then float off into something else anyway, but you have to kind of hold the focus for a minute. Like an example, I'll get TUCat right now, and you'll see, if I let the camera develop focus to the room, now to get TUCat, it's gonna have to focus up close. So I have to kind of hold it on TUCat for a minute before it actually figures it out. But now it has TUCat, and it's gonna stay on TUCat. The focus doesn't float, it stays on him. It's not going in and out onto this background, and then I can go back, and it grabs that pretty quick. So once it gets it really, really well, but it just takes it a minute. But the key being, it stays on focus. That was my main primary goal. And I think with a vlogging camera, that's what people want. They want to be able to pick up the camera. They want to know that it's on their face. They want to be able to walk around and know the camera is holding focus on them. Just because things behind are changing, the camera shouldn't be changing focus to that. It should stay locked on the face. So that's what I liked about the Sony. That's why I wanted to do that video. So for everybody watching the vlog, you got a little more detail maybe than you really wanted. Go watch the video. I kind of go on my little rant about it, and I show 2 clips that are essentially the exact same clip. Me in almost the exact same place on the couch with very similar lighting. It's a really good comparison between the 2 cameras. That being said, the house is pretty well clean. Just got a few small details to kind of finish up here. And then it's gonna be ready for Devin to come tomorrow to make some fajitas, and I don't know what else. Play with TUCat, do that cat thing. As soon as I moved that tripod, you went right into place. Owlcat, you were waiting. I was in your spot. I had the tripod sitting right here. That's his spot. Still haven't attempted to grab the coffee. That whole spiel there was actually me just kind of trying to blow time to let this cool off a little bit, so when I spill it on my hand, I don't burn myself. I feel like the TV is very bright on my face right now. I can like barely see the camera with this thing like blasting out at me in the background. But anyway, the reason it's so bright is I have the Facebook chat open, and you know, I know in the last, I think it was the last vlog, I said that, you know, being on the Facebook page is nice because I chat with people in the messages area, and that just happened again tonight. I actually had somebody message me about a different wireless carrier option because, you know, I'm floating around with different carriers. Right now I'm just on this experiment with Ting. I've got to let that run the month so I can do the review. It was like kind of my agreement. But once that's over, then I'm like free to go over to whoever I want to at this point. So yeah, we were kind of talking about that, and then we just got talking about the channel. And this person said the same thing that I've heard from a few other people, and that's that my vlog is like a nice, what was the exact phrasing of this? Because I've heard similar things. Let me pull it, I gotta scroll back up here. So yeah, it says, your vlogs sometimes take basically bad days and make them better. I kind of paraphrased that. It was a little bit longer than that, but I've kind of heard that same thing from some other people, and that makes me feel good. Honestly, it really does. That's what keeps me doing the vlogs, and I've had a few other people comment to me asking why I do the vlogs and why I take the time to do the vlogs, because honestly, of all my videos, the vlogs do very poorly. They're not a good performer by any means. They don't get a lot of views. 400 or 500 usually is about the average by the time everything tapers off. You know, the first day, maybe 100, 200. So it's not a good performer. There's a lot of other clickbaity... Whoa, TUCat. Oh, your breath, man. You stink. What was I saying? Oh, there's a lot of like clickbaity usual things I could do on my channel, but I try to stay away from those. I mean, I'm going to be doing the video about the Canon G7X versus the Sony RX100. That's kind of clickbaity, but it genuinely is a question that a lot of people have, and it's one I had. But I could do a lot more of that and just say forget the vlogs. But the reason I don't is because I know that there's a small group of people out there that really like these vlogs. And I watch other people's vlogs. And some of the people who are here from watching David DeFranco's channel. And honestly, I watch his vlogs. I like watching him, his family, just kind of disappearing into his world for a little while. And it helps me unwind. So I'm hoping that when I do these vlogs, it kind of has a similar effect. They're not exciting. My life's not exciting, but it's just me being me and sharing what's going on and just kind of having an outlet. That's a little therapeutic for me too, to just sit down, talk to the camera, kind of get stuff out there. And then it gives me these lovely exchanges that I have with people that, you know, really give me the drive to keep doing this, because it is important and it matters to me. So yeah, but I'm basically that was a long version of me saying, thank you for hitting me up on Facebook, those of you who do, and letting me know how these, you know, what these vlogs mean to you and how you appreciate me doing them, and the back and forth. I love the exchange. So I'm not kidding when I say on the Facebook group that there is a conversation that goes on there. So join that. It's a lot easier for me to catch that stuff than it is comments on the actual channel page. it's just the YouTube comment system is such a pain in the butt. It really is. It's just a mission to go in there, and you have to like sort it by newest first, and then if you go into some areas of the comment section, some things don't appear, and then they appear somewhere else. Sometimes you get the notification that says someone said something, and I can never find it. It never shows up in the comments feed, so I don't know if it gets filtered. You know, it's just a lot easier on Facebook when you reach out to me on there. So it's pretty late. I need to get to bed because Devin, I think, is coming not fairly early, but early enough that I need to get up in time to tidy up a little bit more around here and kind of get ready. So yeah, I need to kind of have it together tomorrow morning earlier than I usually do, because sometimes, especially with my sinuses being what they are, it takes me a little bit to get going in the morning. So I should probably at least go into the bedroom, and then another hour or so will probably happen in there watching Netflix and YouTube on my Roku, as it usually does. That's kind of my nightly routine. So I think I'm going to shift over into that mode. But I just wanted to share that, and for everybody that's hit me up on Facebook, thank you. For everybody watching this vlog right now, thank you. Excuse me, I had one of those weird swallows where like it kind of gets caught halfway down. Anyway, probably TMI. But anyway, for everybody watching the vlogs, thank you, and I really do appreciate it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. TUCat, I think, is having a lot of fun with it. I mean, look at him right now. He's looking wild. You having fun, TUCat? Yeah, we'll go with yes. TUCat, why are you hiding?
Come on.
Devin's here. He's not used to visitors. I was just showing Devin the vlog, and she was expressing that they're awfully long, and she can't believe anybody watches them. I don't know either, but hey, I've got this camera and I walk around with it. We're trying to coax TUCat out of the closet. This is his go-to in crisis situations.
Aww.
Not a lot of people come over besides my parents, so TUCat. And Devin can attest why. I'm a little far away, aren't I?
Yeah. Right out here.
You're never going to find me. Anybody who's trying to stalk me.
Come here.
Hey, Willie.
Yay.
Oh, he's coming out. He's coming out.
Come on.
TUCat, what is possibly going to happen to you?
Can I hold you?
Yeah, good boy. He's got a little bump on his head if you feel it, so don't worry about it.
Dang it, quit going in there.
Willie, that's a boring place.
Come on.
Alright, fine.
We're gonna make fajitas.
Miss out on chicken. I told Devin what to get for fajitas. Chicken fajitas, mind you. She doesn't get chicken. It's in the name of the thing.
You need to go grocery shopping.
I always need to go grocery shopping. I live alone. I don't need food.
You have
good.
no excuse.
I have bread and lunch meat. That's all I need.
Oh my goodness.
TUCat's getting upset. Willie. Wow. What? Now he's calming down. Why is everything a crisis? Everything's a crisis. Okay, need to finish making lunch, or there's a good chance Devin's gonna like
It's like 2:30.
have a meltdown.
I already ate a whole bowl of coffee.
I just admitted to Devin I'm not on Snapchat, and her very passionate reaction was, "You should," so that she can send me pictures of Monroe. So if you're not up on the TU vlogs, Monroe is Devin's awesome cat, who I will say many of you said was cooler than TUCat, and now he won't come out. I think he knows that he got dissed. Why isn't he visiting with you?
Nothing. I have a bad vibe.
TUCat, man, blowing up your phones. Is he behind my subwoofer again? He is. He's way, way back. Oh, he got to get on the floor. There he is, and see his little head sticking up over the subwoofer.
Aww. Don't like me.
There he comes. There's TU Kitty. Yep.
He's so loud.
What?
There we
It's
go.
like he's cool with it, and then all of a sudden he decides he's not cool with
He does have
it.
a bump on his head. What is that?
I don't know. It's been there for a while.
Oh.
It doesn't hurt, because he would flinch if it did. It's feast time.
Ta-da.
Look at all that chicken. We got a nice little spread going here.
It only took like 3 hours.
I know. I mean, the rice especially. We really worked hard on that.
Yeah. All 90 seconds.
Well, the problem is the chicken was frozen like a brick not more than like 2 hours ago. Miracle was able to cook.
Oh, okay, this is hot.
Yeah, making fun of me because I burned myself on a minute rice. And it's hot. You're going to get to experience the luxury that is my $99 Walmart table. Yeah, it's really wobbly. So whenever I do anything on that table, it's super wobbly. Well, that was a productive day. I thought that some of the cooking would be on video. I wasn't really sure what was going on there, but anyway, got a lot of stuff done on some website development for Devin, so that was good. It's good to help people out with stuff like that, just to kind of stay sharp on things I don't do a whole lot as far as the website. And I was able to do that today with her little project she's working on, so that was good. TUCat finally came out and started being a little more friendly. He's sitting down here giving me the evil eye right now. I don't think he was too happy that someone invaded his space. Very territorial, TUCat. He's usually pretty friendly, though. He was kind of standoffish today. I don't know what his deal was. But anyway, yeah, so I got a headache now, though. It's one of those deals where I was looking at the monitor too long, and then the sun set, and I was just sitting in my office going through stuff with her, and then it was just a monitor light, and I try not to do that for too long because it's bad on the eyes. So yeah, just try to nurse this headache at this point. Maybe, I was gonna say maybe I'll have some ice cream, but I've been eating pretty good today. Probably shouldn't do that and ruin it. So I don't know. I do have some pop ice. Maybe I'll have one of those. Those aren't too bad for you. What else? What else? It's Friday. Didn't feel like Friday. I was busy today. It was a good busy though. Sometimes it's nice to be busy working on something that is fun, and you're working on it with somebody that's a good friend. So that's always a nice change of pace from just sitting in my office by myself or being on the phone with somebody that's far away and trying to talk through things and trying to, do screen sharing and all that. It's just, in person's always better when you can. Oh, I got up kind of early today too. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. It's going to be nice. Going to enjoy my Saturday. Just get a nice sleep in. A lot of people have been commenting on the vlog. I thought I had it up behind you. I think I loaded Facebook. Anyway. With different carrier options to go with. I've had like 3 different people send me 3 different carrier options to look into, so that's good. As soon as my little trial here with Ting is over, I probably am going to move on to something else and just kind of see what else is out there. Somebody recommended that one of them that's on the AT&T network. The AT&T network for me has been really good. The price is just a little bit high, so I might look into that. I don't know. Might look into Google Fi depending on what comes out in this October 4th event. The rumors I'm hearing, though, is that their next Nexi line of phones are going to start at $650. So they're starting the price at the premium price, which is iPhone pricing, which is a little bit surprising considering that the Nexus 5X right now, through their website, if you do use Google Fi, is $199. So $200 up to $650 is kind of a little punch in the gut as far as pricing goes. At least when they had the 6P, they gave you the option for the cheaper phone. So I don't know, that might dictate that decision. It's a tough call, I'm not sure. I really did enjoy the Samsung Galaxy while I was using it. It just didn't play nice with Ting at all. So, it didn't work out, but I enjoyed the experience. It's definitely a learning curve coming off of years and years and years of using the iPhone. Since the iPhone 4, I had an original, then I upgraded that to a 3GS, and then I didn't use it for a while. Basically what happened is the iPhone quit working, and it was in perfect condition. It had never been dropped in water. Nothing ever happened to it. It just somehow something corroded on the inside. And when Apple looked at it for repair, they sent it back to me and said they weren't going to repair it because there was water damage inside the phone. And I said, well, how can that be? It's never been in water or anything. They said sometimes humidity can cause water buildup in the phone, and that's not covered under warranty. So after that, I was like, well, I'm not using Apple stuff anymore because they don't stand behind their product. So every phone I've ever used has been supplied through work, and I would like to stick to that. So I don't see myself, really getting an iPhone. The one I've got now, it kind of fell into me. It's a long story, but anyway, as far as going out and paying full price for something out of my own pocket, 100%. I don't feel comfortable making that an Apple product. I just don't. I know the new one's supposed to be, water resistant and blah, 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 blah. I just, they didn't stand behind the product. So that being said, it was a little bit of a learning curve, but it didn't take very long to really kind of get the hang of everything. So I'm still using the iPhone for now on Ting, and then I'll look into some of the other services. But thank you, everybody who's recommended something so far. I appreciate that. It always helps when you're trying to make a buying decision to have actual users weigh in on the situation and not just the online comments, because you know how that goes. Sometimes it's too happy one way and too angry the other, and you're never really sure if it's just fanboyism or people defending the choice they made when it's just someone watching a video and saying, hey, I use this, I feel a lot more comfortable with that piece of advice than I do like going online trying to find it. It's just me, what can I say? So yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of footage today. Being a Friday, that's a little unusual. I try to be better about it on Fridays, but it was a busy day, so I didn't bust out the camera too much. Just wanted to get through and get the project done, and it was a success, so that is good. I think I am going to have some leftover fajitas a little bit later. Made a lot more chicken than I anticipated. It's kind of one of those things when you're making fajitas for two, if you make one chicken breast, it's just short of being enough. If you make two, it's way more than you need. So I've got nice leftovers to warm back up. It's always tough though. You got the bell peppers and the onions and you kind of saute them and get them a little bit charred and they're really good. Trying to warm those back up, they get kind of slimy. So that's always a little bit of a downer. I think I might make a salad out of it instead. That might be what I do. I might turn it into a salad. That could be pretty good. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out. I'm crafty. Gained a lot of subs today though. That was really cool. All of a sudden I checked the sub count and today I passed 22,000. Finally. I feel like I was stuck in that 21,000 zone for a really long time. So everybody who's subscribed, if you're watching this vlog for the first time and you're a new subscriber, thank you. Everybody who's still here, thank you. Very exciting. Passing milestones on YouTube is always exciting. Granted, subscribers don't always equal video views, but it's still cool to see that number go up. It shows that you're doing something right. And there's a little bit of a debate firing off, I think, in the S340 video. I need to go in there and look. There's a lot of comments posting on there. It's getting kind of hard to follow it, but anytime that happens, you know you've done something right as well. So yeah, what else? I don't really have anything coming up for review at this point in time, which is kind of strange. Usually I have a little bit of a backlog of things to look at, but I think I've actually gotten through a majority of what I had to review. So I don't really know what I'm gonna look at next. Got to come up with something. I'm kind of racking my brain thinking if there's anything that I've missed, but I don't think there is. I think for the first time in a long time, I'm actually fairly caught up on things to review. So it is cooling off though. I can finally put my new antenna up in the attic, which I've been putting off for so long. So I'm looking forward to finally getting that done because it was so hot. I just didn't want to go up there and the signal's been in and out. I don't watch TV, like broadcast television, very often, but on a rare occasion I do. It's like really frustrating when half of the time you're watching the program it's fine and then the wind shifts or something happens and all of a sudden it's like cutting in and out. So hopefully this new one works a little bit better. That's a little bit of a project video if nothing else, but we're heading into a period where, you know, we're getting close to the holidays. And sometimes a lot of stuff comes out during that time, and sometimes it's slow depending on who the company is. So it's going to kind of dictate how things go from now through the end of the year. But the vlogs aren't going anywhere. So if anything, the vlogs will still be here. I would like to get my hands on that new GoPro, just so I have something that's a little more durable. Because when I go out, like now I'm like, you know, really white gloving this Sony that I got because it's such a good camera. I don't want anything to happen to it compared to the experience I went through trying to find one that would work. Plus it's fairly expensive and I don't want to have to replace it after just having to replace the other one. But the GoPro is pretty pricey. So TUCat, what are you doing? He's like putting his face in his water. That's this cat. I think he's getting senile. But anyway, the GoPro I feel a lot more comfortable with though, taking with me and, you know, going into stores with it and possibly dropping it, taking it in the car and going outside, going on walks, all that kind of stuff. And they've got the little like Hero Session or whatever, little cube one. That one would be really cool because I could be really discreet with it. So it'd be nice if I get my hands on one of those, but I don't know. I've reached out to GoPro. I don't think I'm a big enough channel for them to care. But there would be a handy little accessory in the vlogging world, that is for sure. But I will say this, having this camera has been really nice, not having to lug around the 70D anymore. Well, good morning. It is not morning anymore. It is actually about 1 o'clock, and I'm now finally showered and pulled together, and what is this? Why is Steam telling me my account was accessed from another computer? I did that yesterday. Oh, Steam, you crazy Steam. I had to go through this whole thing on Steam to update my phone number because it's a long story, but anyway, I had to go through a whole thing to update my phone number. It was so that got taken care of finally. But now every time I log in, I think they deactivated all the computers that I was activated on to do it, so I'm having to go through all that again. But anyway, yeah, I was asleep for a really long time last night. Went to bed around like 1 o'clock, and I didn't wake up until probably about noon. So I got like, what, 11 hours of sleep? Whew, I'm telling you what. I must have needed it. I was kind of tired all day yesterday. That's why I didn't really vlog. I just felt like tired and kind of off, and I don't know. Sometimes I do wonder if I'm like starting to come down with something, and then I like fight it off by just sleeping a lot. But yeah, that wasn't cool. So glad that I was able to get sleep, and hopefully today, I had a headache all day yesterday too, so hopefully today all that is better. I did post a video on YouTube yesterday, kind of going over the differences between the Canon G7X Mark II and the Sony RX100 IV. So that will be interesting to see what the comments are like on that video. That's where I'm actually headed over to now. And I have a feeling the comments may be kind of ugly on it, because it's one of those things where you have a lot of fanboys in both camps on that one. So I expect the comment section to be a little bit nasty, especially since I didn't favor the Canon, and a lot of people do. There's only one dislike, 39 likes, but there's not a whole lot of views either. So there is one comment, and it's from somebody I know. Sony was better at focusing, great camera, bro. Okay, so that's really surprising to me. I really anticipated there being more to that, in all honesty. And there may be still. When you pit somebody's favorite thing up against something else, it tends to not end well. You got that with AMD and Intel. I mean, my God, when I did the budget gaming builds, the number of people that attacked me when I did a budget gaming build with Intel was pretty enormous. The number of people, strangely enough, when I did the AMD build, I didn't get a lot of Intel people coming in. But when I did a budget Intel build, I had a lot of people come at me saying, oh, if you're doing a budget build, you should be using AMD. That's why I did both. And I actually don't remember which system performed better. That's the sad part. I think it was a combination of the Intel with the AMD graphics card, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just, that's a perfect example of, you know, people really favoring their side. Even when I look at graphics cards, like when I looked at the 1070 or the 970s and SLI, you'll have to excuse the congestion here. But when I looked at those NVIDIA cards, I got a lot of heat from people for not using Crossfire or not taking a look at something else. I'm getting questions from people why I haven't looked at the RX 480 from AMD. I would love to look at the RX 480, but I've reached out to AMD. They're not interested in sending me one to look at, and I'm not going to pay over MSRP just to take a look at one, and that's kind of still happening online right now. It's getting better, but yeah, I don't have any reason to buy the card, therefore I'm not going to look at the card unless I get a review sample. So, sorry, but that one's not going to happen. I've got quite a few people asking me why I haven't taken a look at the 1080. You know, you looked at the 1070, why didn't you look at the 1080 or the 1060? Again, I don't have review samples. I don't have the money to shell out to buy every graphics card that comes out to look at. If I don't need it or find a good upgrade path for it, then I'm not going to buy it unless I get one sent as a review sample. And that's a thing that I don't think everybody quite understands about smaller tech channels is most companies don't want to work with us. We're too small. So being able to look at everything as it comes out just isn't realistic. I don't have enough income to be able to buy every piece of hardware that comes out. I don't know that there's anything else to really talk about this morning. Yesterday was just a pretty slow day. There wasn't a whole lot really going on. And there's not a whole lot really going on today either. I am working some things right now that may or may not pan out that could be interesting for the channel. We'll see, but for the moment, I don't have a whole lot to really look at on the channel. And if it stays that way for like more than a week, then I'm probably gonna have to start doing more just kind of off the wall videos that I just kind of come up with, talking about things, or I might have to go somewhat daily with the vlogs, just having a specific topic every day, just to do something to keep the channel active until I can get more things in for review. I do feel like this time of year does kind of slow down a little bit as far as like really new stuff coming. There's a lot of mobile stuff getting ready to happen. As a matter of fact, we're 2 days away from the big event for Google, basically, with their Nexus phones. I think the Pixel phones are getting ready to hit. So we've got that, and I think there's supposed to be like a tablet announcement, and my guess is they might do something with Google Fi. I don't know. We'll see. They're saying that the phones are going to be $650, though. I think I might have mentioned this in an earlier clip, but $650? That's like Samsung Galaxy pricing. That's iPhone pricing. That's premium high-end phone pricing. And the Google line of phones, the Nexus line, was never like that. It was kind of the budget option, you know, as far as budget option goes. But if you were going to actually roll your own phone and not subsidize through your carrier or not finance through your carrier, they were the way to go. And now it doesn't seem like there's so much the way to go. I mean, $650, they better bring something really compelling to the table. Going up now with the S7 being right at that price point, the S7 Edge international model is actually a little bit less than that, depending on where you look. So they've got to compete against the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. They've got to compete against the new iPhone 7, which is popular regardless of what you think about it or not. It's a popular phone. It's selling like crazy according to the numbers. So this is going to be an interesting move for them. They really have to bring something compelling to the table here when people are used to paying a lot less for the Google devices. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here. It should be interesting. I'm going to get my day started. I have 27 emails that came in overnight that I need to address and some other work to get done, even though it is Sunday. So it's a cloudy, cool Sunday outside. It's a good day to be in and get some work done. That's what I'm going to do. Sorry I didn't vlog yesterday. Just wasn't feeling it. All right, sound dampening foam has been installed, the rest of it at least. So now I've got a pretty good coverage on this wall. You know, what is that, 11 on that wall. I got 2 more over here, and then I've got 9 over here, so hopefully that makes a difference. I did space them out for now just because I don't have enough to do full coverage, and I figure the more surface area I'm covering, the better. And then I did have 2 left over that I went ahead and put in this corner over here next to the little painting from Goodfellas, and it does seem to be making a difference. As echoey as it was in here, it's still echoey, but it's not nearly as bad. And you know what? This is a good printer. It's lasted really, really well. I haven't had any problems with it, but man, does it have a long cooldown time. It makes that noise and it's just so loud. I was in my office for quite a while this morning working actually, so it's now a little after 3 o'clock, but I got everything done, so yay, I'm good to go for now. My skin should be coming from my iPhone soon. It's one of those D brand skins, and watching the installation instructions for that, yeah, I'm not sure how well that's gonna go. It looks really easy if you just put the band around the back and you leave the top and bottom exposed, but I kind of want the whole back covered. So then you got to deal with going around these corners and all that stuff. So I don't know how well that's gonna work out, but it's worth a shot. They give you both the just the center back and then the full back coverage. At least that's what it said in the video. So if I screw up trying to do the whole back, at least I can do just the center of it. And it's something. This case is just, it's days away from just completely splitting in 2. And I'm trying to get ahead of that. Look, it's got a big like scratch in it now too. I just don't want the phone completely exposed, but I don't want to like cover it in some massive case. When Devin was over here the other day, she had her iPhone in one of those massive indestructible like OtterBox style cases, which makes sense because she's on a construction site a lot. So you got to have good protection on your phone when you're, you know, out in the field like that. But I honestly thought she had an iPhone 6S Plus because her phone was that much bigger than mine. I was able to set my entire iPhone with this case on it in the middle of hers, like where it was exposed. Yeah, it was huge. Also, this turning on when I take it out of my pocket thing, still not used to that yet. When you pick up the phone now, it comes alive and then you gotta unlock it with it. It's just weird. I'm not used to it yet. I'm sure I'll get there, but I'm not fully acclimated to iOS 10 yet. I really need to put these away. Having them sitting out is tempting me. Turkey sandwich, bag of chips, lunch is served. Hey TUCat, I was playing with the dog. Do you smell it? So I just got back from taking a walk, and it was a pretty good one. According to my watch, I walked a little over 4,000 steps or so. So not too bad. Not super long by any means, but someone's texting me. It's actually really beautiful outside today, and as always happens when I go on a walk in my neighborhood, a dog came up to me. Now 9 times out of 10, that's fine. This time it was fine. The one time I got nipped by that little nasty dog. That one hasn't come up to me before. This one was just a cool little, not little, medium-sized black dog. Played with him for a little while, so that was fun. Not having a dog, it's fun to have dogs to kind of mess around with. As a matter of fact, I can hear one outside now, and TUCat is on alert. He is watching. Just really enjoying this weather. This is why fall is by far my favorite season. There's just something about fall that's different than spring. The weather in the fall, it has more of a crispness to it. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but maybe it's just because we're getting out of the heat, going into the cooler weather. I don't know, but there's just something about fall that I just love. You can't match it with anything else. So I love getting outside during the fall, especially in the evening when the sun's starting to set. You got golden hour, it's just beautiful outside. That's when I get my most exercise and when I'm the healthiest. And even though my eating habits haven't been great, they've been better. And I've been trying to get outside pretty much every day. And I have lost like 8 pounds now from the last time I weighed in. Now my scale is totally off. Sometimes I weigh myself and it says 180. Sometimes it says 210. I'm actually at 180 now. So pretty pumped about that. Going down and doing well, staying on the downward trend. So I'm doing something right, I guess. I gotta keep that up. But anyway, I've been watching Blacklist. Probably need to respond to Devin. And I think I'm gonna go watch a little bit more Blacklist. I also need some chapstick too. My lips are feeling kind of weird. Devin was making fun of my chapsticks. It says Sky Master on it. I don't know what's funny about that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill for a couple of hours and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Ooh, I need to finish up Ori and the Blind Forest. I've been, took a break from it for a while, then went back because I had an epiphany how to get through the part that I was stuck on. So I need to get back into playing it again, see if I can actually beat the game, because that is a game I do want to finish. I'm really bad about starting games and not finishing them. I want to finish Ori and the Blind Forest. If anything, just for its freaking soundtrack. Plus the game's just beautiful to look at. Incredibly frustrating though. You know, for all the things about Windows 10 that annoy me, I have to say, I do enjoy the login screen. The fact that it changes automatically, I mean, look at that. On point. And as you can see by the clock on the login screen, it's fairly early. And I've already had a phone call this morning at 7:15. So yeah, early start to the week, getting things rolling. So I got a couple more calls today, but it should be a pretty quiet day. I actually, I think I'm getting everything out of the way before like 10 o'clock this morning. So that's good. Of course, things pop up as the day goes on. But hey, nothing wrong with getting an early start and getting the stuff done, getting your day free. I think it's supposed to be pretty nice today, so hopefully I can go outside. I'm wearing a long-sleeved shirt for the first time in a while. Other than like business attire, every now and then I have to do that. But as far as casual attire goes, I haven't been in a long-sleeve casual wear type shirt in quite a while. It's actually getting fairly cool outside finally, but it is supposed to warm back up into the 80s again. It's a little bit strange. Right around my birthday. My birthday is this weekend. Hard to believe. My birthday's this weekend. And the big Google event, excited about that, is tomorrow. So it'd be interesting to see what these Pixel devices turn out to be. I think everything's pretty much figured out at this point though. They kind of leaked, which I think was a purposeful leak, leaked the information. Phones sound like they're gonna be expensive, but hey, if they're really freaking awesome, then cool. I mean, the rumor is 5.2 inches on the screen for the smaller device, which would be perfect, because I'm tired of these giant Android phones. Why do they have to be so big? That was my issue with the Nexus 6P. I don't need a like 5.5 inch screen on my phone. I have a 7-inch tablet. I'm good. I'm fine. I want my phone to still be able to like be a phone. I want to be able to use it in one hand. So if the devices have like a 5.2 inch screen, it's pretty much edge to edge, and they're built really well, then I'm interested. You know, we'll see. I don't have any problem with the iPhone 6s. I'm just getting kind of tired of it. iOS it's just growing to be a tired platform for me. I enjoy change. I enjoy keeping things, you know, in movement. And I feel like, I don't know, iOS hasn't really done that all that much. I mean, I feel like the updates that they added to iOS in this latest revision, they're just things now that I've used Android that my Android phone was doing before the iOS update. So it just feels more Android-y, I guess, the way it's doing notifications and stuff like that, and little control centers you can open. But I really wish you could customize your experience more. And I understand why Apple doesn't do that. That's not their style. Daylight. Finally, the sun is fully up and the light is coming into the house. This time of day is when I get the best lighting in here. I have that nice east sun coming in. I've got good window coverage over here in this general area. I think I've said this before, maybe not, but that's the downside to this house. And one of the things I'm not a big fan of. I don't really have any windows on the south-facing portion of my house other than in my office. So pretty much everything this way, like this whole area, is like windowless. So I've got most of my windows facing north and then like one window facing east. So I wish there was a little more light in here, but just the design of the house, it is what it is. Going through the YouTube comments, trying to like clean up that feed that fills up in the little, you click in the corner and it shows that stuff, the mess that is the YouTube's comment system. And it's always entertaining when I go in there and see various things. So a couple things to address here since, we're the vlog community here. I feel like we're a tight-knit group that watches, I feel like I'm talking to what am I trying to say here? I feel like when I talk to the camera during the vlog, I'm talking to a close group of friends. There's not very many people that watch these vlogs, so I feel like I'm speaking to a nice, small group that really is kind of invested in this particular thing that I do, which is cool. And that's why I really like doing the vlogs. So anyway, going through the comments, and it's always funny when I go back and see some on the older videos, because as the video gets more popular and it's been up for a longer amount of time, initially the comments are usually pretty nice because it's the subscribers that are leaving comments. Then they get hateful. So for example, the Creative Labs sound video, I was called out for needing to stick to reviewing like computer hardware. Well, that stuff is computer hardware. So, and again, in that video I said it was just, I wasn't an expert and it was totally my opinion. And I think there's something to be said for videos like that. Because if you're watching a video about a sound card or speakers, and you're just, someone like me that's like not a big audiophile, you just want to know how the average person's going to think it sounds, and that's kind of why I put that out there. But they're like, you need to stay away from that, stick to, the computer stuff. Like I said, graphics cards are hard because I don't get them for review, so unless I need one, I'm not going to review one. And I can only do so many cases and builds. I mean, I've got to branch out based on what I get for reviews. So sometimes that's keyboards, sometimes it's sound cards, sometimes it's just random stuff. And if I get it for review, I'm gonna look at it. If I have a camera that I bought that I like, I'm gonna say why I like it. And that's the camera that I got, because someone may benefit from that information. And the other funny thing that I see a lot is in the benchmark videos. I get accused of falsifying the numbers all the time, or making the numbers up, and people say that they're fake. Why would I do that? I don't have anything to gain from that. I obviously own both of the cards. A good example is like the 970 versus the 780 Ti video or whatever, with the 970 and SLI in some instances just spanked the 780. I don't know if that upset people that spend a shitload of money on a 780, and then the 970 came out at a lower price and they were like, wah. But it is what it is. And I own both the cards. I'm gonna put whatever the best option is in my computer. It's a win-win for me either way. If the 980 or 970 is better, cool. If the 780 is better, cool. I'll just put the best one in my computer. It doesn't matter to me which one's better. So yeah, there's nothing in it for me to make those numbers up. Of course, now I've got the 1070, which is better than both those cards, but I'm sure there's comments in there that I made up those numbers too, but it's always funny to me. It's not like I'm getting these cards and I'm getting secret money under the table from NVIDIA to say one's better than the other. First off, I'm pitting NVIDIA against NVIDIA, so I can understand if I was like pitting AMD against NVIDIA or something, you'd have the fanboys in there, but always interesting to me when people say I falsify the benchmark numbers. Why would I take the time to do that? There's no benefit to that. So anyway, always interesting going into the comments. But the vlogs are fun. There's gonna be probably majority of vlog footage for a while because I don't have a lot of stuff on deck right now to review. So I think someone left a comment somewhere, I can't remember where it was, that the vlogs don't fit the channel and I need to stop doing them. I'm not. They're called TUVlog. It's in the name. It's the first thing. TUVlog, whatever number the vlog is. If you don't want to watch the vlogs, don't click on the thing called vlog. It's not rocket science. So I'm gonna keep putting them on the channel. I'm not making a separate channel for them. They're gonna stay here. And if you like them, watch them. If you don't. And if you just hate everything I do, then unsubscribe. There's no point to stay subscribed if you don't like the content. But for those of you who do enjoy the vlogs and the content, thank you. The channel has been growing at a pretty good rate this week. I think basically thanks to that S340 video. So that's cool. And yeah, the vlogs are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. I'm not gonna be detoured from doing the vlogs because I enjoy this back and forth. I enjoy connecting with those of you who I know are like loyal viewers to the TUVlog. That means something to me. It's nice. It's a good feeling knowing that I kind of feel like I'm talking to, especially a select group of people. I feel like I'm talking to you because we've gone back and forth on, Facebook or whatever and had conversations, or you leave tweets, or you always comment on something, and that's what's special about it. It's not about the numbers. It's never been about the numbers. I don't make a living off of doing YouTube. It's just about making connections and sharing information and having fun. And if people want to turn that into something hateful, then that's their prerogative. But for me, I just like making connections with positivity and good people. And I think the vlog is a great outlet for being able to do that on top of whatever else I do on the channel. So, all right, I took a long nap and it felt great. A little bit groggy, but that comes with a nap time experience. Caught up on some of the sleep I missed last night by getting up super early today. So now I'm back to my usual self. I've got my iPhone and the D brand stuff. So I gotta try to put these things together, and I've got the video pulled up on my laptop, and yeah, it seems like this might be a thing. Now, here's the deal. So you got the iPhone, right? So you can either put the skin on just this part, or you can do it on the whole back of the phone. And I feel like I'm gonna do the whole back, or at least I'm gonna try that first and see how that goes. And then if that fails, then I can resort to the easier one, or revert to the easier one. So like, here's the example. Here's the basic skin, which shouldn't be too hard to pull off. And then there's the full coverage. This one's gonna be more difficult. So I'm going to begin the process of trying to pull this off, and I guess we'll see how it goes. But I need to go get my hair blow dryer, which I'm not really sure why with this hair I own one, but for some reason I do. So I'm gonna go grab that and get started on this project, I guess you could say. All right, so I got the skin on. I ended up going for just this version of it instead of the full coverage. I put the full coverage one on, but I didn't love how the edges felt. It's just there's too many little contours and things going on with the iPhone, and I don't think that it really works super well. I mean, it looked fine. It felt for the most part fine, but I'm just really particular, and I could feel kind of some rough edges where it was kind of going around, even blow drying it and softening it out. So I ended up going with this back. It adds a lot of grip to the phone, which is what it really needed. So I'm pretty happy with this. Feels good, it looks good. I mean, it looks natural to the phone. The fit that they have on these, it's actually staggering how good they actually have it. I mean, it goes right up to the edge. When you look really close, it's just perfect. It's right there. So kudos to D-Brand on getting an exact cut on these things to make them fit. I mean, everything really is on there just the way it should be. So I'm gonna rock this for a while, kind of see how that goes. Just fine tuning a few more pieces, and I think we're set. So yeah.
So there's actually an industry group, DxO Mark.
It's Google announcement time.
Quality in almost all
We're talking about the Pixel.
Smartphone cameras on the market.
Well, it's over. The Google event has concluded, and there were so many leaks for this thing before it happened that nothing was really earth-shattering. The phone was priced starting at $649. So that's for the 5-inch Pixel with 32 gigabytes of storage. And then you can step up to 128 for another $100. It doesn't appear there's an SD card, so you can't put, or micro SD, so you can't do that. So you're pretty much stuck at what you get, similar to the Nexus phones before. So you kind of have to ask yourself, is it worth it to pay $650 versus $200? Because you can get the Nexus 5X for $200. So is it worth the extra $450? Now that is with activation with Google Fi, but still, if you're gonna go with Google Fi, $450 is a huge step up. I mean, that's another 2 phones. You could buy 3 Nexus 5X phones for the price of this, or you could get a 6P and still pay over $200 less. I think the 6P is like $499, so I guess, you know, $150 less, because you're talking $500, $650, but still, it's an expensive phone. I mean, it's right there with the iPhone 7. And that's interesting that Google went that route this time, I think, because they were kind of like the lower cost option. It was like them and Motorola. So much spam coming into my phone right now. Now all of a sudden it's this deal where they're like head to head. I mean, it's the Nexus phone, the Pixel now, versus the iPhone. And it's interesting. So now it's like you've got Samsung with their Galaxy, and then the Pixel phone from Google, and the iPhone. I feel like those are like the 3 players right now, you know, the big dogs in the space. And it's I think the Snapdragon 821 is what they said, so that's, you know, cutting edge, newest phone, you know, technology out there. I think it's 4 gigabytes of RAM. The camera is supposed to be like the best in the industry. It's got really big pixels, should do really well with low light performance, which is something that the iPhone 6S just sucks at. It's terrible in low light. The iPhone takes awesome photos in full light. I mean, this flower picture that I've been using, which I need to update it to like pumpkins or something for the fall, I've taken that at my parents' house, and I'm still getting used to the skin all over the place. I took that at my parents' house, and it was just, you know, flowers in front of their house, and it looks great. I mean, it looks like some kind of stock photo, honestly. So when you have enough light, the iPhone does really well, but low light, whoa, bad. It just can't handle it. So that'll be good, and when I used the S7, it did a pretty good job too. So anyway, that was like the one big announcement that they had. I took some notes. They announced some other stuff too. The Google Assistant looks pretty interesting. It's essentially Siri, but on steroids. It's Siri, but more intelligent. So it kind of knows, it has an idea what you've been looking at. It knows, it's able to guess what you're probably looking for, depending on the context that you're asking it. So that's interesting. It's Siri, but smarter in theory. We'll see if it actually works. Daydream VR, I'm still not in the whole VR camp. I've never tried it, so maybe I just don't know what I'm missing out on, but I don't know. VR, it still doesn't really interest me all that much, but if you pre-order the Pixel, you get some kind of a deal for Daydream VR. I don't know. I saw that on the website. So the Pixel phone's ready for it. They showed some demos. It was kind of, there was a Harry Potter thing in there. I guess if you're a big Harry Potter fan, you can hold the controller and be a wizard. And the person made a joke about everybody wants to be a wizard, and it was like silence in the audience, and it was super awkward. Matter of fact, the event was kind of awkward. There was some jokes thrown out, and none of them got any response. People in the audience just really, they didn't seem excited at all by pretty much anything they were talking about. They announced Google Wi-Fi, so that looked good, I guess. I mean, it's Wi-Fi. I'm still using an old Asus router, but it is acting kind of squirrely, so maybe I will upgrade that. I don't know. We'll see. And then Google Home. Google Home looked decent. It was intriguing. If the speaker system and it's actually as good as they say, then it could be something fun to have in like your kitchen or something. So when you're cooking, you can say, hey, Google, play Pandora 80s music, and then it'll just play it. That I think is intriguing. That could be fun if that actually works the way that they say it's going to work. And if you have a smart home with like, I think they said Philips, so maybe the Philips Hue or whatever they are, the LED light bulbs that you can control. That's kind of interesting. I think they're taking a little bit of a jab at Apple with their like home automation stuff that they have in the new version of iOS. So I don't know. We'll see. What else did they announce? I didn't see a tablet announcement today, and I thought maybe that might be something that was going to happen, and I did not see that. So that might upset some people that there was no tablet. But, oh, the other thing about the Pixel phone, I want to say it was $100 or $150 more to go to the larger size phone. So you could easily be at like $800 for this bad boy. It is not cheap. You can finance it for 24 months with no interest or anything if you want to do that. I think the protection plan for 2 years was $100 if you wanted to do that for accidental protection. The cases are running about $30. So all in all, it's an iPhone competitor officially at this point. They're targeting Apple 100%. The phone even looks very similar. It does have an AMOLED display, so that's nice. It should be a nice crisp clear display like the Galaxy devices from Samsung. It should be a fast phone, I have no doubt about that. It is gonna run Nougat, so it's got the newest version of Android on it. It looked like a really clean interface and a clean experience, and if you're a Google Fi customer, it does work on that. So kind of a not super, it was kind of anticlimactic. There was so much that had leaked before the event that nothing surprised me in the announcement. But the price, I was surprised. I was hoping the $649 was gonna be for the larger phone, and maybe they were gonna like have the other, $499 would have been a killer price. If they'd brought it in at $499, or even $549, and just undercut iPhone, just that little undercut, I think would have made a difference. But boy, putting them basically head to head is a hard sell. They did get a little bit of a jab in on Apple when they ran their commercial for the Pixel. They mentioned that it does have a headphone jack, and they kind of coughed when they said it, just a little tasteless jab, actually. I thought they could have maybe been a little more creative with that, but hey, whatever. Oh, speaking of phones, Amazon. So after discussing my options and realizing that it was probably an issue with the phone with Ting, since it was an international version of the Samsung Galaxy, there was no way to get support from Samsung for this thing. So it was suggested that I just return the phone during the return period, since it was dropping calls every 10 to 15 minutes. It wasn't getting any better. The data was jumping all over the place to different bands. It was going from 3G to H+ LTE and back to 3G, just literally over and over and over again within a minute. So the data was really inconsistent. The phone was just squirrely. So they're like, yeah, well, if it's working in your iPhone and it's not working in the Galaxy, just might be an issue with that phone. So I returned the Galaxy, and then right before that, I had returned the Moto X Pure because it had, you saw if you watched the vlog, half of the screen was shot. The phone was clearly damaged. Something happened to the ribbon cable feeding the screen. It was garbled. It was unusable. The phone was DOA. So I returned both those phones, and then I got an email from Amazon complaining about excessive returns. And I emailed them back politely but forcefully that they need to stop selling bad products. Now, the Samsung, it could have just been that that phone and Ting just didn't jive, and maybe it would have been fine with AT&T. I don't know, but since there's no warranty support and I was within my return window on Amazon, I took advantage of it. So that was a gray area, but I was within my rights to do it because the phone didn't perform as advertised, because it did say that it would work on T-Mobile on Amazon's site, and T-Mobile is what Ting uses. So it didn't do what it was supposed to do. And the other phone was just DOA. It didn't work. So I emailed them and told them that, and they were just like, well, you have excessive returns, we're watching your account. So really, Amazon, I spend probably well over $10,000 a year on your website, and you're gonna complain about a couple of returned phones that couldn't make phone calls? It's kind of the purpose of the phone. If you can't use the screen and you can't stay on a phone call for more than 10 or 15 minutes, the phone really doesn't do you any good. And the iPhone's giving me no problems. So, yeah. Anyway, a little frustrated with that. It's like, really, of all the stuff. I have things arriving today from Amazon, and they sent me that email when I have open orders being fulfilled. So I was a little annoyed with that, but all that being said, the Google announcement today, nothing earth-shattering in my opinion. The Pixel phone looks interesting, but wow, that price point. That's going to be a difficult sell for them, I think. I think a lot of people will be okay with it, but coming from Nexus's pricing... So, went to the store and got a giant $5 sub. These were up front, and I couldn't resist. So, look at the size of this thing for $5. It feels a little stale, but it's $5. Sell by 10/6. Well, today's only the 4th. I got 2 more days. Look at this. You could beat somebody with this. Neighbors are building a fence today, and it has TUCat all riled up. All right, time to stuff my face with an unreasonably sized sandwich. I always find it interesting. In this neighborhood, one person... TUCat's just... Every time I start talking, he gets up. Once one person starts cutting the grass in this neighborhood, it's like a domino effect. Everyone else starts doing it as well. It's spread through the entire set of 2 streets here today. I think 4 or 5 people now have cut their grass since the one guy behind me started earlier today. And I'm looking outside, and even I'm starting to fall for it. I'm like, well, do I need to cut my grass? No, I don't. I don't need to cut it. The guy behind me doesn't really need to cut his either. I'm looking right now as he's passing by, and I think people just like feel compelled for whatever reason. It is supposed to rain the next 2 days, so maybe that's why everybody's running out and doing it today, but I don't know. These people put in a fence today. They did that whole fence in basically 5 or 6 hours. So that crew was on it. And then the other guy, he's out there right now doing his thing. I had a package that was supposed to come from Amazon today, and it didn't arrive. So I think Amazon might be having payback on me for being upset about my returns and then calling them out on it. I had my sandwich, and it was a little bread heavy. I'm not gonna lie, I think a majority of that $5 went into bread. It did have all the different kinds of meats, but it just had one layer of each one. So it was a very thin layer of ham, a very thin layer of, I think, what was else on there, like turkey, very thin layer of salami, maybe it was roast beef. Really all you could taste was the bread and the cheese for the most part. A little let down by that. I think when I have the other part of the sandwich, I may actually, I've got like this much left, I may eat this much, fold the meat over and double up the meat, take off a layer of the cheese, and then just have it that way, because it was a little too much bread. Doing some laundry, washing my jeans. I'm rocking a pretty hot look right now. Got on the shorts, the black socks, and the running shoes. I'm not going anywhere, so I don't really care. I'm washing my favorite pants, so I'm just gonna wear this until it's over and done. Meanwhile, TUCat has not been fed yet today, and I'm surprised he's not like having a fit about it. I did over pour last night, and then he ate all of it. And he was throwing up a lot yesterday, so who knows what I have waiting for me tonight. Hey, UPS is here. Let's go get my package. It's not very exciting. It's just some shaving stuff. So nothing to be too excited about. I think it was actually FedEx. Too many boxes all in here. TUCat's gonna be getting upset here with all these packages arriving today. Now UPS just came. I was gonna say, I thought that was kind of weird it was FedEx, because I got a notification earlier this morning that UPS was coming. All right, clean and fresh. There's nothing like a good shave with a traditional safety razor, old school, using the soap and the brush and just having a nice experience. Take 15, 20 minutes, just really do it right. It's nice, gotta treat yourself sometimes. Usually I do it on the weekend, but hey, why not do it on a random Tuesday night, right? Ooh, save $4 at Meijer. It was a very nice thing, actually. I was at Meijer, I was checking out yesterday. I didn't do my food haul like I usually do. There wasn't a whole lot of exciting things to really show. And I was in the self-checkout. It was fairly busy. It was around 6 o'clock. And I was at like 50 some dollars for my total. And then one of the women that works there just came up to me and was like, "What's your total?" And said like $56 or whatever. I said, "Here, take this." And handed me a coupon that somebody else had left behind for $5 off a purchase of $50 or more, or something like that. But it took $5 off my order, so sweet. So I thought that was cool. And then I grabbed all the coupons and was walking away, and this one must have been delayed coming out. And she was like, "Excuse me, sir, you forgot your coupon for $4 off. And this is off a purchase of $35 or more. So I'll definitely use this. It expires 10/10. So I'm like purposely leaving it out on the desk so I don't forget next time I make a late night Meijer run. More than likely for cat litter, for TUCat. Oh crap, that reminds me, I forgot to feed him. I got so wrapped up in the shaving. But yeah, that was cool. That was very nice. I really like that Meijer. They're good people there. Cell phones, really disappointed with the more I think about it, the more disappointed I am with the Pixel from Google. I have to say, it's just such a departure from the Nexus thing they were doing. And I did kind of want to try Google Fi just to see what it's all about. And I've had a lot of really good suggestions for alternatives. And I'm definitely going to look into those because I think Ting's probably going to come in a little bit expensive. I think my bill with AT&T, even on their cheap plan, with like a gig of data would have been, I think they quoted me like $56 with taxes and fees. So we'll see what I come in at on Ting. I think I'm at like $37 right now, but I've had some other options. I forget, one of them was an AT&T network like MVNO that's operating, that's a pretty good deal that I need to look into because AT&T was really, really solid. I did find out that the Samsung Galaxy International version tends to not play nice sometimes with T-Mobile because it's missing the band number 12 on LTE, and it's missing one of the 3G bands as well. And both of those help when you're indoors, apparently. And that's when I was having the most issue with Ting. And then when I switched back over to the iPhone, which is just a standard GSM phone with all of the bands, then it was working just fine. So yeah, I need to, if I'm going to use a Samsung Galaxy S7, I need to actually pony up the extra $100 for the US version of the phone that has all of the bands instead of just some of the LTE bands, like the international version. So that may be my issue. I've seen people online with T-Mobile saying, you know, in their area, T-Mobile relies heavily on voice over LTE, and that requires band number 12. So if you don't have that, sometimes your calls sound kind of shitty and you drop calls a lot. And that's exactly what I was having with the S7. Everybody's saying my calls didn't sound very good. I wasn't having a great connection with people on the other line. I was having to yell a lot. I was getting disconnected. Whereas with the iPhone, I don't have that problem at all. So I really, really liked the S7. Like, the screen was beautiful. The phone was responsive. I liked the operating system. The camera was amazing. I just didn't like that it couldn't work properly. So maybe I'll try the US version of it. I don't know. I was really hoping that Google's announcement today would be enough for me to say, boom, yes, going with the Pixel, gonna try Google Fi, see how that goes, problem solved, cool. No, I can't spend iPhone level pricing and Samsung Galaxy S7 level pricing on that device. I mean, it was a very capable device, hardware-wise, but it just looked so much like the iPhone. And the thing that really started bothering me when I started thinking about it, the bezel on the top and especially the bottom was pretty thick, and there's no reason for it. There's no buttons there. There's not stereo speakers on the thing. So why so much space at the bottom? Come on, Google, HTC, what's up with that? Why do you have that much space? Are you just trying to even out the top and the bottom? I don't know. And it doesn't have like any water resistance or waterproofing or anything like the Galaxy, now the iPhone do. So for the price, premium price, high tier, high end pricing, there just wasn't enough there for me. I couldn't pull the trigger on it. I was really excited for today too. I really thought that they were gonna do something. I don't know why that tweet went out that everybody was gonna remember today the same way they remember the day that Android was announced. Nothing happened today. That was super exciting. What is up? TUCat should probably be waking up from his spot on the couch any second now. You barely see his white over there. He's hiding. Oh, Facebook. Usually when I start talking, that sparks him to come to me because he thinks someone's here or something's going on, or he thinks I'm talking to him. I don't know. He's a cat. I also realized something today. I own a lot of like green shirts for some reason. I don't know why, as far as t-shirts go. Going back and watching the vlogs especially, I really pick up on it. I'm like, what's with the shirt thing? Although this one, I've got paint on it. This is my like working around the house shirt because the paint on it's actually from the event. It was the Rebuilding Together Indianapolis thing that I take part in. So I was painting. Really old house. It was a really weird, that was a weird day. The guy in the house that we were fixing up, it's always depressing for one thing. It's you don't appreciate how much you have until you see how some other people live. And this guy was in a very old house. He had a lot of people living there. He was an older gentleman himself. And he set his kitchen on fire the night before we got there to work on his house. So the whole house was filled with smoke and soot, and we had to like scrub everything down and then repaint. It was a whole thing. It was rough. It was rough, and it smelled awful in there because I think his range hood like melted. It was plastic or something. It was just bad. It was not a good thing. But thankfully we were there to fix everything up. But I digress. I wear a lot of green shirts. It's just my t-shirt collection. Days when I work from home and I'm just on phone calls and I'm not having to do any kind of a video chat with anybody, I can just dress down. It's jeans and t-shirt all day. So, well, heck, yesterday it was shorts. I was doing laundry. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, anyway. Productive morning. It's about 2 o'clock now. I found I've been getting up earlier and just like plowing through a lot of stuff in my day and then going back to it in the evening. I have this nice break in the middle. It seems to be my schedule. My creativity in the day comes in like 2 different waves. The morning is when I'm like energized to take care of like housekeeping stuff, anything that involves numbers or responding to emails or things like that. And then the evening is usually when I'm a little bit more creative. So if I've got to edit a project or edit something for this channel or do that, I typically do that in the evening. So I've got like 2 different creative zones in the day. And then like the afternoon period is just kind of my chill time. That's I think when I build up the creativity for the evening. Maybe I'm weird. I think a lot of other people are like that though. Some people I talk to I know are like that because I'll be chatting with them and it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I know I'm not alone in that. I'm gonna finish off the giant sub. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing though. I'm just gonna combine some of the meats and make a sandwich. It was just, like I said yesterday, just too much bread in that thing. I don't know what happened there, but there's too much bread. Somebody had suggested after my last vlog, they hit me up on Facebook and we were messaging back and forth that I should try Cricket Wireless, because I was talking about how my AT&T service was always so good, and they said that the Cricket runs, the Cricket. I think I'm like 100 years old right now trying to explain this. Cricket Wireless is owned by AT&T, so they use AT&T's towers, and then from what I can tell, they have their pricing so low because they cap the speed of the LTE data. I think it's like 8 megabits per second or something like that, and then it like drops down once you hit your cap. So you can do like a 1 gig cap. It's unlimited data, but once you get past 1 gig, then you slow down to like edge network speeds. So think original iPhone. But hey, at least it's still data you're not getting charged for. Maybe slow as hell, but it's still enough for text messaging and emails, and that's what I do most of the time. So for $30 a month, you get unlimited calling and texting, and you get a gig of data. So, and I think they have plans all the way up to like $70 a month for unlimited data. It's not the fastest data in the world. I mean, I was getting like 30 plus with AT&T easily in speed tests. So they are capping you for that lower price. But you know what? I don't care. 4 to 8 megabits per second is more than enough for what I do on my phone. I very rarely even stream video on my phone when I'm not on Wi-Fi. I just need enough data to be able to get information back and forth. Basically, I need email. Like the BlackBerry days for me, for the most part, were fine. I was fine when I just had a BlackBerry. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I'm like, wait. You mean I can use this phone to check my emails at night and I don't have to go through the 10-minute process of getting into our corporate VPN? It was awesome. It was like the whole world opened up to me. And that happened right about the time I got out of college. And I had the big, bulky BlackBerries with the monochrome screens that were like that thick, and they had the scroll wheel on the side. The phone itself was like that big. That was when phones were still getting smaller. Now we're like, especially on the Android side, getting like huge again with the phablets. But I remember that. And then I remember my BlackBerry, was it the BlackBerry Curve? It was the one that was like the most popular. It had the color screen and the little nubbin thing that you could use to navigate. I had one of those, and that was probably my favorite BlackBerry. It was just small, compact, it worked. It was on, I think I had it on Sprint of all the networks. I think it was Sprint is who we used to use through work back in the day. And I had that for a long time, but I ran it alongside my iPhone 3GS. So I carried 2 phones back then. And so yeah, email. That's what I was trying to get at there. So I'm gonna try that out, see how that works. I'm just cheap. I don't like paying a lot of money for my cell phone bills. You probably figured out by now. And so we'll see. I know there's other cheap people out there watching this. Clearly, because a lot of you sent in recommendations for services, and doing my research and hearing about Cricket being AT&T, that's the one I think I'm gonna try, because of all the services I've used, AT&T and Verizon were the most reliable of all of them that I've used. Well, it is Thursday. TUCat is up, which is surprising because he slept all day yesterday. And it's like 2:15 in the afternoon. I've been up for a little while, but I've been working again in my office. Seems to be the theme of this vlog, so I apologize. There's not a whole lot really happening this week. Not a lot of things to review, like I said. Yeah, so things are going on. The Cricket Wireless package came today, so interested to see what came in here. They shipped it UPS next day air, but it shipped from 4 miles away. That's literally where it came from. So it wasn't far. So just pull everything out of here. Did I get everything out? I think I got everything out. Let's see, sales receipt. It's got my number that I'm transferring, that's cool. And then your phone on our network because that's how I did it. So open that up and you have your terms and conditions of service, which is pretty substantial. What else here? Get a $5 credit each month when you sign up for auto pay. It doesn't really apply. I'm on the $30 a month account, so that doesn't apply to that one. So I could step up to the 40 and then pay 35, but unless I need the data, I'm not gonna do it. And according to Ting, I've only used like 190 megabytes of data so far this month, so I'm not even coming up on a gig. And then of course the SIM card itself, determine what SIM card size you need, so they give you all the different size SIM cards. So I will give my full thoughts on Ting shortly after I transition over to this. So I'm gonna keep all of this together so I don't lose it because the phone I'm gonna use has not arrived yet. So yeah, there's that. Doing some website work, working on some templates, trying to decide on something, did a logo design this morning. My birthday is coming up, so that is a thing. I'm probably gonna be pretty busy on my birthday, actually, just kind of working on stuff for myself, but it'll be a nice day to myself to be productive, so that's always good. And yeah, so another year gone by, I can't believe it. It's lawn mowing time again, and this time, it's not pouring rain and it's not hailing, but it is fairly warm outside. As a matter of fact, according to my phone, it's hot. What is the temperature?
It's about 84 degrees outside. Hot.
Thanks, Siri. Thanks for letting me know it's hot. I'm gonna enjoy some of the last days of actually having heat, because the way I look at it, this will probably be the last time I go outside and cut the grass and actually break a sweat until later in the spring. So I'm gonna do it. I could wait till Saturday when it's gonna be cooler, but may as well have one more nice sweaty lawn mowing experience. Just kind of take it in for what it is, the end of the season. Summer's technically been over for a while. It should be much colder than it is right now, so why not have one more sweaty run? Oh yeah, feel the sport. That's right. Done, son. It is done. Looks pretty good too. Got a little bit long. There's some chunks out there from the mulching, but all in all, I think it turned out well. There's that new fence next to me. So yeah, pretty boring, but it's done. Also, look at my little patio. How sad is that? 9 years I've lived here. I've never done anything about that patio. Remember when I moved in here, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put in a deck. It's gonna be sweet. I'm just gonna put in that small temporary patio. No big deal. Never put in a deck. Never did it. I'm not outside here that much. If I'm outside, I'm usually somewhere else. I'm not a big just like sit outside just to be outside kind of guy. I like to be doing stuff if I'm gonna be outside. So, I don't know. I don't entertain all that much over here. Comes TUCat. I don't entertain too much here either. I'm kind of far away from where everybody else lives. So people tend not to come here since everybody else lives in the other part of town. So I kind of got to go up there. TUCats make me really nervous. TUCat? So yeah, that's why I don't have a deck. Long story short. But anywho, I need to grab a shower because I'm feeling kind of nasty. But it was nice. It was nice getting outside when it was still hot. Not hot, it was like in the mid 80s. But it wasn't humid for once, which was nice. It was like legitimate summer heat finally. So I got to enjoy that. And it's probably going to be the last opportunity I have because looking a week ahead in the forecast, I think the permanent cool down is getting ready to settle in. Well, it's about 7:40, and I dozed off on the couch last night, which is unfortunate. So I didn't get the greatest night's sleep. Definitely gonna need a nap today. However, I am up for my favorite time of day. Well, I don't know. I like twilight. There's something about the air at sunrise, though. It just has that smell of a fresh new day. So I'm gonna go outside. That smell. And it's even trash day, but it still smells nice out. My trash can got a little banged up. You can see my fresh cut grass though. Looking pretty good, I think. Hey look, TUCat's in the window. TUCat's upset I'm out here. He's meowing. This tree is getting a little bit large. Anyway, look at the sky. So there's the east, so that's where the sun is coming up. It's brisk, but it's not cold. It's actually a little bit humid. Look at the little clouds there, a little wisp of a cloud. It's a very nice morning. So yes, my hair is matted and messed up from falling asleep on the couch. I did change shirts, but yeah, it's a new day. So I guess I better get back inside. TUCat's gonna be upset if I don't get back in. But yeah, so up early, gonna get some stuff done. I'm giving some serious consideration to rearranging the office. I think I might do it. I have some thoughts on it, but I'm not gonna share them yet because it's still too dark in the office to really give you a good idea of what I'm thinking about doing. So once the sun is up a little bit more, I think I'll go through what I'm contemplating. But it should free up enough space so that I have enough room to put up like a backdrop, like a black backdrop or something. So I have like a solid, background behind me for videos. That should be helpful. I always wanted a space like that, and I didn't think I had the room, but then I got to thinking about changing my desk arrangement, and I think I can work it out, have a better setup for how my monitors are, because eventually I want to get an ultra wide, and that's just not really going to work well the way I have my setup right now. And I think I can actually condense both computers onto one desk, possibly, if I do it this way. And I have plans for the other desk as well. Anyway, I've got ideas in my head. I think I can work them out. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it begins. The office, the transition. So yes, what I'm going to do, and this is going to be a massive undertaking, is basically relocate the desk from here over to here. So it's gonna be in this corner, and it's gonna be up against the wall. So it's not gonna jut out into the room anymore, which should free up enough space to get this desk over into this corner. So there's a lot of moving around to be done here. So I'm gonna have to clear off all of these surfaces, get everything out of here so I can make the transition. And the worst part of all is going to be this space right here, because I've got the modem, the router, and the network switch all living in this location, and I'm gonna have to find a place for it. So that's gonna be a lot of stuff to move. We'll see how it goes. Not having to keep this area of the desk free for recording will give me more space. I'd like to get the sound dampening foam condensed into this area right here, because I think that will help with the videos. So we'll see, but yeah, it's time to begin office transition. It's been like this for over 2 years. I think it's time for a refresh. It's time to make some more room in here. It's time to future-proof the desk so that I can put better monitors on it and whatnot in the future, and just generally have more space to work with. Okay, so if ever there was a time for an office tour, here it is. This is pretty much everything that was living in my office, with the exception of the Noctis case here, but I had both the S340s on the glass desk there. Got my trash box over here. Both chairs, the cat stand, the Creative speakers, Audio Engine A2 speakers, my mic stand. Over here's the meat and potatoes of everything. All of my external hard drives, which one of these is very important. And then I've got a 24-inch, I believe, maybe 23-inch, 27-inch. I know that's a 24-inch monitor. The subwoofer, the main editing computer, some Kleenex, and the A5 Plus speakers. So now here's the office. Very echoey. Even with the foam on the wall, still very echoey. So this is the only thing that remains at the moment, because this is housing all of the internet equipment. So when this goes down, I lose internet until I get everything hooked back up. And the idea is, you can see here's the desk, just got it all pledged up. And here's the other desk all cleaned off. So yeah, the office is completely emptied out. The idea here is to put all of the modem equipment up kind of underneath here in this little area, and this little storage lip that I have on the desk. I'm hoping that works out. It's pretty robust. So hopefully there should be enough room to get everything up underneath there, and then I can finally get that thing out of here, because it doesn't match, and it's taking up room. And I actually have a file cabinet that I have yet to assemble in this box right here. But as you can see, there's a lot of cat hair on the floor. It's everywhere. Here's a big trail of it right here. So I'm gonna have to get the vacuum, but I turned off the ceiling fan and I'm waiting for the air conditioning to kick off so that things stop moving in here, so that everything can settle. Everything I cleaned off of the desk can settle, all the dust settles. I can vacuum, then I can unhook all of that equipment, have that ready to go, hook that back up first, and then kind of start moving things back in here again. But the desk does move pretty easily. It's not too hard to move this thing. Even one-handed, I can scoot it. So that won't be too much of a mission, but it's just, I'm gonna have to turn it, completely around. So yeah, we'll see. Should be interesting. All right, so it's definitely a work in progress, but things are coming along here. You can see everything set up. And yeah, just gotta get it cleaned up in here, get everything tidied up, get some more sound dampening on this wall. And once all that is done, I should be ready to rock. The really nice part is, look at all the room over here for activities. All right, well, it is Saturday. It's beautiful outside, one of the best days yet this year, and it's a special day because it's my birthday. So yeah, it comes a little bit less special when you get into your 30s, but hey, it's another year that you're still here. So yeah, all right, let's keep that trend going, shall we? Not a whole lot really going on. I've got some editing to do today. I took some video of the unboxing of the Galaxy S7, which is nothing new to me. I unboxed one of these before. But this is the unlocked US version of the phone with the Snapdragon processor. So it's a little bit different. It has more bands and it's CDMA compatible, should I ever use something that uses CDMA. And of course it's black. I could not find an international black version of this phone for whatever reason at the time that I got the last one when I was looking at Ting. And I switched over to Cricket Wireless and had a few phone calls today with that. And I was talking to my mom and she goes, wow, your call quality is a lot better than it has been for the last few weeks, because she noticed it dropped off when I switched off of AT&T. And I've got a hair on my camera. I got hairs everywhere thanks to TUCat. I just cleaned in here yesterday. But anyway, when I was on Cricket, when I was on Ting, which is T-Mobile, my call quality was just awful. Now, when I was using the international version of the Samsung, I couldn't use it. I just kept getting disconnected because I didn't have enough bands or whatever. But even on the iPhone, the calls stayed connected. It didn't sound very good. So far today, fingers crossed, Cricket seems to be working. So that's good. It should, in theory, since it's AT&T's network, there should be no reason it wouldn't work the same as AT&T. So I'm hoping that keeps up. Back on the Samsung again, which is cool. I really enjoyed the Android experience during the time I was using it when I had the other S7, but it just wasn't cutting it as far as being able to actually perform as a phone. So that was an issue. So anyway, I did an unboxing of that last night, just kind of having fun. For anybody that doesn't watch these vlogs because they're too long, I figure I'll just pepper in little stuff like that as it happens in just like little TUVlog mini segments. I might even call it that, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I've got to decide what I'm gonna call it. TUVlog mini, that maybe? Because it's not really like a review. And I hate things that are just unboxings. I don't know. I don't hate them. I just don't really think they're all that informative. So I don't want to present it as an super informative video. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But all right, how many Facebook notifications do I have today? That's the big question. 3 new messages on Tech Uploaded. Really? 4 other people posted on your time. Okay, 6 people posted. Someone from work that I used to work with. Your geeky tipster, Robert. Sean, who I don't talk to anymore. Jessica, who I don't talk to anymore. That's pretty much it. Geez, guys. Kind of expected more than that. My close friends actually didn't say anything. of all the people that wish me a happy birthday are people I haven't spoken to in a really long time. Go figure. What's going on in my email? Oh, let's check out the tech uploaded Facebook page messages. Now you see what just happened there? This is the issue I have. This time it left a notification in the Facebook page that said that I have 3 new messages. So I know to go in there and look. However, when I click on messages, I actually have 1, and it's just from somebody that says, hope all is well. So very confusing the way it does that. It's actually the person that told me to try Cricket. So I need to message that person back and let them know because they're the one that got me started looking into this. So anyway, you can see behind me the office. Let's give a little tour as it stands now. So here is the office as it's been a little bit updated. I've got the sound foam here, which is nice because my voiceover mic is right in front of it. So now my audio is a little bit more muffled. And what will help, and I think I mentioned this actually in the Samsung video, you can see all my equipment's kind of hiding over there in the corner right now. That thing's gonna go away. I actually have a legit file cabinet that matches this desk setup that I am going to put, I guess we'll just keep moving on, next to the secondary desk, which is a lot closer to me now, which is handy because now I can just roll over to it and do things I need to do. And then I actually took the little like magnetic puck that came with the S340 Elite. I separated it into its 2 halves and I'm using it to hold my headphones. And it's actually doing a really good job of that. So yeah. But anyway, I think I'm just gonna stick the file cabinet over here in this little gap space and then stick the laser printer on that, which is still in the hallway. And I've had a little extra foam, so I just kind of put it over there to flank the computer. And then there is the S340 Elite. More of a showpiece than anything, but really looking nice. You can see me and the tempered glass there. Yeah, and then continuing on, you just got my desk set up again. Got the Roamer G back in action, so it's back with my little custom key lighting setup. And then of course, the AI crystal case. Let's get in on that. Got my fans lighting everything up. I really want to get those LED fans from NZXT. I thought they were going to send some to look at, but I don't know. You can see me again. There's the ROG card. And then, of course, the A5 Plus speakers are back again. Got the mixer right there, the box for the Galaxy phone currently. And then I did move my router back up. So it is out and about again, just to kind of help with signal a little bit. It was sitting in that cabinet, like in the area, you know, right there. And it was like really in the corner. It was like tucked way back away over in here. And I don't think I was getting the best signal that way. I also like having the mixer here. It's a little bit more out of the way than it was. And the real nice part is cable management is a lot better now. There's not nearly as many cables on the ground because a lot of the network equipment is hiding up on this little lip now. And I kind of, you know, wound up some of the cables best I could. So the majority of stuff is just kind of up here, which is good. You can see the XLR cable's hanging down a little bit, but that's fine because I might, you know, extend the arm or move it around or do something. That big fat cable is going to the surge protector, which is running into the UPS backup. And then, of course, the monitor power cables. They're just not quite long enough for me to tuck them up completely up here. But, you know, that is what it is. So, yeah, everything works out well. And then I am plugged directly into the cable jack for the internet with a nice short cable run up to the modem that I roll. So, hopefully that will help with speed. So yeah, there's the new office. Really liking it. I think this is going to be good. I'm going to put a black sheet over there, like a nice setup. I actually ordered one off of Amazon. It's not nice, it's the cheap kind, but if it's permanently set up, hopefully I can steam some of the wrinkles out of it and stuff and just permanently have an area with a black backdrop in that corner. And that'll do 2 things. One, it'll give me a nice backdrop for when I'm just doing certain product reviews or videos or things like that. The other thing it's going to do that's going to be really helpful is it's going to introduce a large amount of fabric into the room that's covering that whole wall. So hopefully that will soak up some of the reverberation from my voice in the room more than just that foam does. Because when I talk towards that wall, the echo goes down a lot, but anything going in that direction is very echoey. So I'm hoping that will cut down on that. The vlog, I'm probably going to run it through the weekend because I've got stuff going on. I've got some stuff going on today. I've got to edit the video for the Samsung phone. And then tomorrow I'm spending time with family. I'm going on a walk, doing some stuff with my dad, going over to my parents' house to celebrate my birthday, taking a bath, of course, because they have the nice bathtub, watching the debates, the second presidential debate thing, and just kind of stuffing my face for my birthday. I think my mom said it's like salad and an Italian sausage and garlic bread and lasagna, which I requested, and then chocolate brownies with chocolate icing. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be good. So that's tomorrow's plan. So I know this vlog's been a little bit weird. It's running longer than usual, and it hasn't been like super like interesting. I haven't really done a whole lot. And that's just because I've been busy. I've been working on some other things. I've got some stuff going on in my life, some possible changes and things coming up around the corner, doing some side projects, just really staying busy. And that does make it hard sometimes to like balance having the channel and other things. This isn't my like source of income. If it was, then I would obviously put a lot more attention towards it. A lot of people have said do a Patreon thing. I'm not gonna make enough money off of Patreon to make this a full-time deal. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Depends on how much people want to support the channel, but maybe eventually. But the other thing is, it's just I think I've mentioned this a few times now, I haven't really got anything into review. So that's why I actually just did the unboxing of the Samsung. I've already seen the phone, I've already used it, but you know, it's kind of new. It's like 4 months old. The unlocked version of that phone in the US, they were carrier tied in up until that point. I mean, you could unlock them through your carrier, but you know. So that's kind of been why this vlog's been like a little bit different. And just I've been on a little bit of a different schedule for the last week or so. So that's been kind of shifting things around. So anyway, I'm gonna get to editing the video for this guy and respond back to the birthday comments, try to be a good Facebook person, and oh yeah, I need to message the person. So again, that's join the Facebook page because you can send me messages and I do respond to them if I know they happened, if Facebook tells me. All right, productive afternoon. Got the video edited for the Samsung, and hopefully the ceiling fan's wind isn't getting picked up on the camera mic. I'm gonna stand over here in the corner. But yeah, got that done. It's rendering. I'm gonna go get some Panda Express because somebody mentioned Panda Express in a YouTube video I was watching the other day, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And I've been chatting with Robert. He's the Your Geeky Tipster channel, and he got a new graphics card. And then when he hooked it up to his monitor, all of a sudden his DisplayPort cable, he was locked at 30 hertz. And we went through a couple of different things, and finally I was like, you know, I think it might be the DisplayPort cable, even if it says it's DisplayPort 1.2. Sometimes the cheap ones aren't, and he got a Cable Matters cable, and it didn't work. It was stuck in 4K at 30 hertz. So I said, I went on Amazon, found one that had better ratings, and said it was definitely 1.2. He got that one today, hooked it up, everything works fine. So a little public service announcement there. When it comes to DisplayPort cables, don't cheap out. I know everybody's like, with HDMI, it doesn't really matter. You know, a cable's a cable, digital signal's digital signal. Well, it definitely matters with DisplayPort. You have to make sure the cable's compliant for 4K in order for it to run at its full refresh rate. So don't cheap out on HDMI cables and try to keep them at 6 feet or under. That seems to be the best bet. So I'm gonna go get my Panda on because I'm hungry. TUCat? TUCat? You getting used to the new room? I mean, it's pretty much the same. As long as this is in the same spot, you should be fine, right? Yeah, see? It's all good. TUCat's rubbing all over everything in here. He's getting his hair back on my desk since I cleaned it off, and I think he's upset by that. He's also sitting on the box of Kleenex, so that kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, Panda Express was delicious. I thought I would have some left over, and I didn't, sorry. Well, I'm really distracted here. I ate all of it. It was good though. It hit the spot. It's one of those things where I've been craving it ever since I heard it mentioned, and then I had to have it, and days went by, and I didn't get it, so finally satisfied that need. But now I'm feeling like I need a nap, and that's unacceptable because I slept super late today. I am uploading the video for the Samsung, and then I'm going to edit the vlog probably pretty late tomorrow night after I get back from hanging out over at my parents for my birthday. Got a guy out mowing the grass. Totally understand that today. It's super, super nice. Super nice. Windows are open. Perfect time of the year. We're in that like 3-week stretch of time where the weather's just perfect. So I'm really, really enjoying that. Super dark. Low light on this camera does really impress me. Anyway, I'll be glad my light comes in for this area, because this one over here is really just not cutting it. Not cutting it at all. Very dark in here. So anyway, let's venture back out. I need to figure out what to do with all of this nonsense over here. Did I turn the outside light on? Yes, I did. So yeah, kind of not the most exciting birthday. Tomorrow will be a lot more fun. But got the Samsung video up. I already had like one of the, comments awaiting review because it hit some of the flags, and it was somebody obviously an Apple fan was like, oh, why the beep would you get a Samsung phone, and you should have got an iPhone 7 for that kind of money. Really dumb, and a bunch of other like rude things. Use what you want to use. I don't understand why people get so worked up about what phone people use. Who cares? Use what you like. If you're into Samsung, use a Samsung. If you're into pure Google Android experience, then use a Nexus, or I guess a Pixel now. If you're into iPhone, use the iPhone. Who cares? What does it matter at the end of the day? People get way too territorial about their favorite thing. I get the same thing with AMD and NVIDIA though, and a lot of people say that I'm lying on my NVIDIA benchmark numbers and stuff because they're very like AMD, and that's fine. I just don't have anything AMD to benchmark right now. Tried to get a 480, but no luck. I did want to look at that. But you know what? Use what you want to use. People need to calm down. It's not that big of a deal. These are just products. These are just things. At the end of the day, as long as you're alive and you're wealthy, as long as you're alive and you're healthy, being wealthy doesn't hurt, but healthy is more important because you can have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health, then you're screwed. I think we really need to be thankful for the things that actually matter and calm down a little bit about things that don't, like phones and what graphics card you're using or what CPU you have in your computer. That being said, since it is my birthday, I think I'm going to have some cookies and ice cream. I'm going to make some fresh chocolate chip cookies, have them nice and warm, and then put some ice cream on top. Yeah, it's gonna be money, I think. So I'm gonna spoil myself. I'm gonna have a big serving of ice cream with some warm cookie, and have my own little birthday celebration in here with TUCat, because he looks like he's ready to party. Totally wild. All right, LED desk lamp is here. I got the black version, of course. So yeah, this should solve my lack of light issue in the office, at least I'm hoping. Good day today overall. Kind of my actual birthday celebration since yesterday. Didn't really do a whole lot, so went over to the parents' house, and he always tries to knock the camera off where I have it sitting right here, so I have to like kind of be careful he doesn't jump up here and hit the camera. But anyway, I went over to my parents' house, actually spent a big chunk of the day outside, went to the park, walked around with my dad for a while, walked 5-ish miles through the forest. If you're following my Instagram account, you probably saw a couple of those pictures. Got a lot of photos actually, and some video, tried out the 4K on the S7. So yeah, just spent a lot of time outside, did a little bit of shopping, had a gift card for Kohl's, so got some new shoes for when I'm walking around, and then had a feast for dinner. So I'll show a picture of what it was. So, there's everything. It was lasagna, Italian sausage, then there was, of course, salad to start everything out, because you got to try to be healthy, right? Some breadsticks, they weren't great. Tried something new, didn't quite work out. And then, of course, rolls for the Italian sausage. Just a feast, completely stuffed. And then brownies for dessert. And I've got leftovers of all of that. So definitely not an on my diet kind of meal, but really, really good. So thanks to my mom for pulling all that together. So I had a nice birthday feast, completely stuffed. Took a bath, relaxed, soaked the muscles a little bit after the hiking the trails. Not that it was really all that strenuous, but still nice. Then watched the presidential debate. The second one, definitely a lot more heated than the first one. I'm not going to comment on it either way because I don't want to bring politics into anything on the TU vlog or this channel at all. It's just too heated and messy this year. And then kind of just hung out for a little while. Now I'm back and it's about midnight. So Monday starts again. I got a couple of phone calls and a meeting tomorrow morning. Some things to get done in the morning and the afternoon. And I have a meeting in the afternoon too. So it's kind of a busy day, but as soon as I get through all of that, then I can get to finally editing the vlog. So this one's been kind of a long run, so it may end up being kind of a longer vlog again, but there just really wasn't a huge amount of things going on. I did put the S7 unboxing and all that stuff in a separate video in case anybody was interested in that. I knew that it would be near the tail end of this vlog and it might get lost, so I put it in its own video. Some people aren't too happy about it being as long as it is and just being a phone unboxing, but I kind of said up front, it's not really so much about the phone unboxing as me just kind of pulling out part of this vlog and making its own video. And I think I'm gonna try to do more of that. So I know, you know, I get anywhere from like 4-ish to 500-ish views typically in the first few weeks on these vlogs, and then it kind of just, you know, trails off from there. Sorry, my nose is itchy. So anyway, that's not a huge number of views, and sometimes I may have something that I'm talking about that I think would benefit, you know, people, or maybe someone would be interested in. So even if it's not really a review or something like that, I may still pull it out of the vlog and kind of just make it its own video. Kind of like a daily vlog style where there's just like a title and I'm talking about something. If it's something that I think would have more interest than the people who just watch this. Now, something like this, me just talking about my birthday and what I had for dinner and going on a walk, you know, you guys care, the ones that watch the vlog and appreciate the vlog, and I thank you for that. But if it's something a little bit more, you know, maybe for example, the LED light, I'll do, you know, an unboxing and a separate video for that. So, but I think sometimes there's a little bit of confusion when people watch those videos because I'm not really accomplishing a whole lot. I'm just kind of showing something that I'm doing. I don't know that people have really connected the dots yet since I just started doing it. So we'll see how that works out, but I think it's a better format to use than just sticking everything into this vlog and thinking, okay, well, if something's an hour and 30 minutes into the vlog, how many people of even the 400 to 500 views are making it to an hour and 30 minutes into the vlog to see what I'm talking about? I think it's a very small number. So having a separate video, I think you get more people seeing whatever that is I'm talking about. So that's the idea at least. So anyway, I'm gonna get to bed. It's kind of late, I'm extremely full, and I am tired from doing a lot of walking around today. According to my Pebble, I walked 11,000 steps today, which is pretty good for me. I need to do that more often. I need to make that more of a regular thing. And then tomorrow's gonna be a pretty busy day, get to editing, do all that. And yeah, that's it. Week starts again, so here we go. All right, Monday morning, getting some stuff done, waiting for some emails to come in, and just finished importing the video clips from the old Sony for TUVlog 25 so I can get to editing. Also this morning, I tried to put the screen protector on my S7, and I tried the advice that I was given, I forget where, I think on a YouTube comment, to do it in the bathroom. So I had 3 screen protectors in the package. I tried the first one in the bathroom, and I had bubbles all over the screen, so I'm like, So then I decided to watch the directions because the thing came with a card that had a link to a YouTube video. So I went over there, watched that. It said use like a credit card or the warranty card. It's a very loud car. So it's like a whole thing. There's 2 sheets and you gotta peel one, get it lined up, and then use a credit card and slide down. Well, that worked great, except for the sides because there's a slight contour in the glass, ever so slight, just to kind of start to pivot the glass a little bit so it meets up with the frame. And bubbles were there. And I would like go like that and push the bubble out to the side and then bloop, bubble would come back up again. So I just don't think that it was getting a tight seal. So then I started reading the YouTube comments, and apparently this is really common. A lot of people were having the problem, complaining in the comments saying there's still bubbles on the edge, there's bubbles at the top. And then I noticed if you watch the video closely, the directional video, they show applying the screen protector down to about here. And then they like move the camera back up, and you can see there's bubbles, and they never show how they get rid of those. They just kind of cut that part out of the video, and then they're like, yeah, you're done. Well, anyway, I went through all 3 screen protectors, never got one applied correctly, so I just said, forget it, there's Gorilla Glass on here. I'm gonna take my chances, hopefully it'll be all right. What are you gonna do? Anyway, another really nice day outside. Allergies are terrible again, and I know why. I was outside yesterday for a very long time, walked that trail with my dad, and I think I forgot to mention in the last clip, I meant to bring this camera, the one I'm filming on now, or recording on, I'm dating myself, and then I forgot it. But I was like, hey, I got the S7, I haven't tried this out a whole lot yet, really, with photos, other than just stuff in the house. So I took a bunch of photos, and I guess as I'm talking, I'll just show some of those. But I was really impressed with how well it did. And my parents had like a Galaxy J or Galaxy J2, I think, because they don't need a fancy smartphone. They just need something. Basically, AT&T told them we're going to be shutting down support for like 2G only devices, so you have to move to at least a 3G capable phone. So they finally just moved to a smartphone. My mom was smart. She went online. She just got one out of contract straight up, so they didn't have to be locked into a contract again with AT&T or anything like that. And they didn't have to be on the payment program, which I think is a good idea if you're going to do a cell phone. But just buy it outright so that you can take it to any carrier you want. You know, in my case with Ting, I didn't like it, so I was able to just jump over to Cricket. No big deal. You can do that when you have an unlocked phone. So anyway, that's the phone they have. So my dad was taking pictures while I was taking pictures. I've got some video as well. And I tried the 4K setting out. This is obviously going to be downscaled to 1080. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. The video was pretty good. It's with phones, it's always going to be difficult to really get great image stabilization. That's just, a thing that's always going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, with phones, because they try to pack the camera into such a small little package. But I think it did all right. So yeah, that was fun. I was able to get outside, play around with the Samsung. The leaves in the next few weeks should really be changing, so I might go back out there again with the Sony RX100 and RX100 IV, if I'm being technical, and get some more photos and video with that and kind of see how that looks. But in a pinch, I think the Samsung did a hell of a job as far as photos go, and it was really quick and easy to take photos with it, no problems. So that was a nice little test. But anyway, I'm going to get finished editing video. Just had to clean up some TUCat regurgitation. He's been throwing up a lot, but he's like shedding his summer coat and getting his fall coat, so there's hair everywhere in this house, and he keeps cleaning himself like many times a day. It's like, I think my cat has OCD with being clean. So that's causing him to have hairballs. When I try to give TUCat hairball medicine, it never goes well. He hates the stuff. I literally have to jam it down his throat. Every little trick in the book that you're supposed to be able to use with cats to get them to swallow something doesn't work with him. He outsmarts it every time. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem with TUCat. So anywho, I'm gonna get to editing at this point, and I think I might just, I might end the vlog here. I think this is a good ending point. So, if you made it all the way here, as always, thank you, and I appreciate everybody that watches these vlogs. I know they're kind of long, and they're not the most exciting thing. I had a lot of stuff in this vlog that really was just kind of off-camera things that I couldn't really show, so there wasn't as much going on, so I ran a little bit longer. But if you enjoy these vlogs, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, do your thing. Of course, I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Tech Uploaded. I'm on Facebook as Tech Uploaded. And you can also shoot me an email at techuploaded@gmail.com. And you know the drill. Don't be a stranger. Check back soon. This guy stole the show, the debate last night. There's a whole webpage with all the memes and stuff going on, and that was just as of this morning. What a boss.